What is up, guys? It's Andrew with MyWatchAddiction.com coming back to take a look at that Watchgang Black Subscription watch that I received for March 2018. So as you guys may remember, I received that William Gregor for my March 2018 Watchgang Black Subscription watch, and that's what we're going to take a look at today. But before we do, guys, down in the right-hand corner of the screen is that subscribe button. Can you go ahead and smash that guy if you have not already? Also, don't forget, next Saturday, March 31st, it's going to be my overview of my watch collection, as well as in that video we will do the drawing to figure out which one of you guys will win one of my watches. Anyway, let's dive into this William Gregor, but before we do, let's take a look and see what's on my wrist today. The watch of the day for me is that deep blue Depth Star that I received as a part of my Watchgang Platinum subscription from a few months back. So as you may remember, if you didn't see the other video, this William Gregor comes in I'm going to say it's a cardboard box with almost like a synthetic leather on top of it. We open it up, and inside the box we have our operating instructions from William Gregor. And then in the box as well, one other thing I'm going to point out while I'm in here, this is almost like a cheap cardboard on the inside of this box. Open it up, and it does come with this genuine leather William Gregor leather strap. Incidentally, no quick release pins on this leather strap, but it does say William Gregor right there on the clasp. Then we have the watch itself. So the watch itself features a green sunburst dial with gold indices and gold hands, which you can't see because I'm trying to take it off. So you can see that green sunburst dial, gold indices, gold hands on this watch, and a date indicator at that 3 o'clock position. Now, this is an automatic movement. It's the only information I can find about it without cracking the case back on it is this is a Japanese automatic movement in it. I honestly have no idea which one it is, and I don't feel like cracking the case back on it to learn any more about it. So there's that. Case diameter on this watch is 41 millimeters with a case thickness of 13 millimeters. This does have a 22 millimeter steel mesh band that is just basically a hook and clasp. So this band strap, you're going to hook over top, then lock down, and then fold over to lock down. Now, if you're unfamiliar with these types of watch bands and how to size a watch like this, if you see that little notch right there in the clasp, what you can actually do, there's an arrow pointing right to it right there. What you can actually do is stick a small flathead screwdriver in that notch. That notch, that whole bar will actually flip towards the long side of the band, so towards the watch. That'll flip up, and then that'll allow this whole carriage or clasp to slide back and forth on this band. If you look closely on the back of this band or bracelet, there is notches or indents in the back of that steel mesh, and there's also a knockout here on the back of the carriage that will slide and hopefully catch on one of those indents. So that's how you size this stainless steel strap. There's not a whole lot to say about this watch for me. I am happy that I received a stainless steel bracelet instead of just solely a leather strap. However, this watch just isn't really one of my styling. I tend to tend to be interested in a little bit more than this, and that green and gold combination just really isn't something that I typically would wear. Again, for those that are unfamiliar, Watchgang Black Subscription that I received this from is $99 per month, and you are promised to receive a watch at greater value than what you paid for it, which we'll take a look at here in a minute to see if that holds true for this one. But just a reminder, Watchgang is a monthly subscription service where you have no idea what kind of watch you're getting, and that's part of the fun, or part of the interest in Watchgang. If you're getting into Watchgang for the sole purpose of getting a watch that you like, and solely a watch that you like, sometimes you can score, sometimes you lose out. It all depends on what your personal comfort level is with getting a watch that you want. Long story short, if you're someone that's extremely picky about what they like, Watchgang, my assumption, is not for you. You would likely be unhappy with it. But if you're somebody that likes, like me, that just likes to learn about new watches and likes to see new things and try out new things, it's definitely something to check out. There's a link right to Watchgang down in the description section. So you guys may remember this card. This is the partner card with a link to more information about the Watchgang Black watches that went out this month. Let's jump over to this website and take a look at what they have and what we think about this month's Black Tier watches from Watchgang. So if we take a look here at the website, they actually had, surprisingly to me, quite a few watches, different watches, that went out as a part of this month's Watchgang Black subscription. Now, I have seen this D1 Milano, this ultra thin D1 Milano. I know a lot of people are complaining about this watch in the exchange. I've seen a lot of hate growing for this watch. To me personally though, I kind of would have been interested to get that watch. I think it's a really interesting design. Although I can't comment on its build quality because I've never seen one, it's just a really neat looking watch at a high level. Then of course, Fortuna was featured this month with their Chronomaster series. This is also another watch, given the fact that I love chronographs, this is another watch that I would have been interested this month in receiving as a part of my Watchgang Black subscription. You see they have all sorts of different flavors of the Fortuna Chronomasters that they sent out this month. So incidentally, if you guys are out there and you guys are watching this and you have any one of the Fortuna watches that you've received and you'd like to trade me for this William Gregor, absolutely reach out, because I would be all over that trade. So all the Fortunas. Now you guys see this Fortuna Senator right here. This is kind of interesting. I actually picked up this specific watch in a trade a few months back, so I have this one in my collection that you guys will see next weekend. Then of course we come down to the William Gregors, and they had some of the holdover Heriter Morrison automatics that they sent out as well this month. Now those Heriter Morrison automatics, I'm actually seeing a lot of guys that are really liking those. I personally haven't seen one, but I'm pretty sure Watchin over at his channel picked up one, I believe it was last month, and I'm pretty sure he's a fan of that one, and I've seen a lot of guys that are really enjoying that watch. But these are the two William Gregor watches that they sent out. This first one is definitely something that would probably interest me a little bit more than this Maltese band or Milanese band watch that I received. But you know what? It's a monthly subscription service. It's a luck of the draw. But that's what we ended up with. So let's jump into that one. If we take a look at the page specifically from Watchgang, it's got a picture of it as well, and then it tells a little bit about it. Stainless steel case, Milanese band, Japanese automatic movement, and a mineral crystal. Now there's a link here to Amazon listing for this watch, which we'll jump over to in a second, and then a link to the William Gregor site. So if we jump over to the Amazon listing, Amazon listed has this watch listed for $379 with $8 shipping. Looks like they only have 2 in stock. A little bit about that one. If we jump over to William Gregor's website itself, they have a lot of different watches. I mean, they just have a whole lot of different watches, and they're selling these with this steel mesh bracelet for 399 euros. If I take a look around a little bit more, there's a website, NordicWatches.com, that is also listing this watch for 399 euros, which is MSRP for this guy. And this website right here is just William Gregor's site specifically for this watch, showing you the case dimensions of 40, 41. That's actually kind of interesting. William Gregor's site actually says this watch is 40 millimeters across. Another site I saw said it's 41 millimeters across. So let's take a look and see what I'm getting on this watch itself. And on this watch itself, without the crown, we are directly, you guys can't see that because it's upside down, but we are right at 41 millimeters on this diameter. So I'm not sure if that was just a rounding error on William Gregor's site, but their site is incorrect. If you actually measure this watch is 41 millimeters in diameter, whereas on their site spells it out as 40 millimeters. They're also listing their strap width at 20 millimeters. I'm wondering if this is not the exact same watch, but that's interesting. Anyway, not a big deal. If we jump over to eBay, obviously we're going to see a lot of these watches up for sale on eBay. I'm not sure there was a whole lot of love for these watches when they came out. I personally don't, as far as my opinion on this watch, I don't find anything wrong with it. It is kind of annoying a little bit that they won't spell out what automatic movement they use in it, but that's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things for $99. And me personally, and again, this is only a personal comment, I'm not a fan of that gold and green color combination, but that's just my personal preference. It's nothing against the watch, nothing against the watch designer. It's just that's not a color combination that I personally would pick. But you can see a lot of these William Gregors up for sale on eBay right now. Starting bid on this one has one bid at $50. Here's another one going for $84.99. This is somebody that's listing it for $179 or best offer. Here's somebody that posted this watch up for bid roughly 2 or 3 days ago, and it only has one $25 bid on it at the moment. And that's including $15 shipping. That's man, and depending on where you're shipping from, that's kind of expensive for shipping. $179, $200. Now, granted, these are a little bit different model. I actually like the bracelet on these models a little bit better than that steel mesh. But nevertheless, we're looking in anywhere from $25 on up. Realistically speaking, my gut tells me that these watches that are up here, this watch has 11 hours left in one bid of $50. Because the market's flooded with them right at the moment, my gut tells me that these are probably going to go far below the subscription price for these watches, simply because it's flooded with them. In my estimation, what I'll likely do with this watch is let it sit on my shelf for a little bit and let the market die down that's flooded with these, and then I'll bring this guy back out here in a couple of months and try and sell or trade at that point. Hopefully it'll spark somebody's interest. I know that a lot of people have the opinion that this watch is very similar. It looks a lot like that Seiko Alpinist, but neat looking watch. Personally, my thought process is I was on the street and I was looking to buy this watch and I wasn't in social media, the whole 9 yards, I would probably pay, just based on the feel of this watch, I would probably pay right around that $100 range. I'm not sure I would pay much more than that because the strap, the band, the bracelet, the case, it's not a real heavy duty metal. This is an extremely light watch. And to me, unfortunately, unless we're talking titanium, to me, weight a lot of times mentally equates to value, sturdiness, you know, the whole 9 yards. Thank you guys for sticking around and taking a look at this William Gregor watch with me today that I received as a part of my Watchgang Black subscription for March 2018. Really neat looking little watch. Not sure I'm going to hold on to it though because, again, as you guys know, I'm not really a huge fan of gold or gold in any moderation whatsoever. And I'm not a fan of that green and gold combination on the stainless steel case. Doesn't mean it's not a nice watch, doesn't mean it won't definitely work out well in somebody's collection, but I'm just going on the assumption that it's not going to get a whole lot of wrist time in mine, so I'm probably going to post this guy up for trade and see what we can make out with it. Anyway, guys, thank you for sticking around. If you stick around a little bit longer, I'll post up some close-up shots of this watch so you guys can see it a little bit closer. If you guys would like to reach out or have any questions, definitely post them up in the comments below, or you can reach out to me at mywatchaddiction.com. And if you want to see what's on my wrist on a daily basis, don't forget you can follow us on Instagram /watchaddiction.us. Thank you guys and have a great weekend.